Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Gökhan Erdamar. I'm responsible from revenue and growth in TUV Austria GCC-SyberCode. Today, I will try to emphasize how we can build and leverage a security culture. First of all, let's have a look in breaches and attacks happened in last year. According to Microsoft, nearly 80% of nation-state attacks targeted government agencies. We talked in the previous sessions that around the identity and identity theft was up by 42% in last year. Although healthcare wasn't among targeted industries in the last years, security breaches cost $6 trillion last year into these enterprises. The past year was a busy one for hackers, cyber criminals, and cybersecurity experts. Here are some of the top security breaches of last year. One of the most popular one, LinkedIn breach exposed 700 million records in between June and August 2021. Social media giant Facebook also experienced a breach of more than 533 million accounts, which it uncovered in March. Healthcare, as I mentioned, was not a target, but Brazilian Ministry of Health faced a loss of 223 million records in January. So we talk about the breach, but the attacks, growing attacks. Certain types of cybercrime are experiencing rapid tactics. 6.95 million new phishing and scam pages were created, making it the most common attack in last year, according to FBI. Nearly 3 out of 4 companies face phishing attack, as our panelists mentioned before. That is all about the people and the awareness. Ransomware attacks grew by more than 40% during the pandemic. So what are our challenges? First of all, lack of resources is not a new topic, but we believe we are going to try to seek to fulfill it. Enterprises challenge to consolidate and integrate lots of separate technologies. New hybrid modern working ways make it hard to solve identity theft. So we need a new cybersecurity definition. We have to build a culture while looking to the classical definition of cybersecurity. Awareness is not enough. Security culture should be a must. Process may be slow. Automation and integration must be a culture. Technology is not enough, never enough. At the past wasn't enough, and in the future may not be enough, but you should have a services and compliance culture. As we run a security culture, we should know how to operate an adaptive security. According to the Gartner, I believe you're all familiar with this framework, but we have to summarize once again. Not to forget, we should not skip any of them today or tomorrow. First of all, replace one-time security gates with context-aware, adaptive, and programmable security platforms. Continuously discover, monitor, assess, and prioritize risk, then proactively and reactively behaviors should be implemented. We should perform risk and trust assessment early in digital business initiatives. Instrument infrastructure for comprehensive full-stack risk visibility, including sensitive data handling. And we should use analytics and, again, AI, machine learning, technologies, automation, and orchestration to speed the time to detect and response and to scale as we have limited resources. Architect security as an integrated and adaptable program system should be adopted, but it shouldn't be in silos. We should put continuous data-driven risk decision-making and risk ownership into business units and product owners. So we are talking around all technologies, but some of them we should talk about some new technologies and new strategies too. There's some key areas and strategies when we talk around security culture in the new normal and coming future. AI and machine learning integrated security and operations are more mature in these days. When we talk about consolidation, we should analyze a native integration between the technologies. COVID-19 changed our living and working standards, and now we face broad reach, and we should adopt new technologies around this broad reach. So, some new approach we should discuss again, and we should adopt and talk around in these days, as we discussed in the previous panel, that zero trust cybersecurity, adaptable to emerging threats and changing access needs, can detect threats in real time and take immediate action to protect an enterprise's data, devices, and operations in ways reuse passwords and VPNs no longer can. Second topic is a popular topic again, and it's the security mesh. With the explosion of edge devices, the complexity of architectures and paramount importance of securing our hyper-connected world, the old school approach of using security point solutions that are natively integrated doesn't make sense anymore. In the past, some level of security could be reached by wrapping a layer of interconnectivity around security technologies, but these days are gone. Integrated, automated platforms that provide visibility and trigger super fast defense mechanism are being adopted even as we speak. We talk around the identity first approach and identity theft. So risk-based authentication is very important. Risk-based authentication is all about examining signals as the vendors refer to the various observations they make in near real time as a user moves through the login process or when a customer buys something online. It creates a risk profile of the person or device requesting access to the system. That profile is based on factors or signals including IP geolocation, user behavior, keystroke patterns, and connection type. These factors may change depending on specific threat factors, and this could require ongoing management of risk profiles. Find to fix is a never-ending problem in a cyber world. Managing vulnerabilities is no longer enough. We should find a way to fix them in urgency, and patch management is a must not to forget. So, a new era. We as TUV Austria GCC-SyberCode addresses the challenge to solve with three topics. We believe that the best cybersecurity solutions are now services, not just software. Due to lack of resources, consolidation, cloud technologies, as a service model is getting crucial day by day. We talk lots about identity, and within the new normal, identity access management is becoming a solution to put as a framework to apply. Whether you build a SOC or outsource a SOC, to define and build as a managed one is very important that we believe. So what are we doing around our cyber SaaS? We as TUV Austria GCC-SyberCode try to turn every solution and services into a as-a-service model. We can manage all products and services. It is flexible, redundant, and it's like a tap. You can turn on and turn off as much as you can. And we define it as a pay-as-you-grow model. But as we talk about managed SOC, managed incident response is a kicking point we underline in our model. And we as TUV Austria GCC-SyberCode, again, define an identity-defined security alliances framework. In the past, we were starting security from the perimeters. Now we live in a borderless new normal that there is no perimeter. Data is everywhere and privacy is a global issue. Data and identity must be matched and should be carefully covered by security operations 24/7. To ensure everything is all right, we have to calculate our risk and mitigate them for being more compliant. It's again an approach of ours, that data orchestration and automation report. We define and solve security culture as a data orchestration, automation, and report solution. You can start from data discovery, continuously do the vulnerability management, asset management, pen testing, and remediation. You can adopt and track also by outsourcing your governance, risk, and compliance. Every compliance and every common issue, the most of the enterprises faces is the third-party risk assessment and the third-party risk management. You can automate by easy access user interface with AI-driven policy management. This is a cycle of security culture and easily can be integrated to installed base technologies. We believe SOC is not enough, CSOC is not enough, building an internal SOC is not enough, and we can manage security services around managed SOC. This is not only about the perimeter security, this is not about email security, this is not about nothing new, it's all about a holistic approach to the security operations. So just as a summary, as the saying goes, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link, and company's data is only as secure as its most vulnerability vector. Beyond making cybersecurity as its most vulnerable vector, beyond making cybersecurity and enforcement issue, a culture of security makes it everyone's responsibility, empowering every user to sense and act on cybersecurity matters. Today, we have to discover what is our sensitive data. To protect our data and intellectual property, it has to be accurate and fast. Not only protecting data, also to build a privacy structure. Then we have to define where is it, and we have to implement. Then we have to define where is it, and we have to develop our services and resources in order to comply. As we run all the necessary steps, we have to involve all end users and devices, and it has to be delivered into a scale that everybody must be aware. Gaining maturity in cybersecurity is a journey. Given the evolving nature of businesses and forward-looking enterprises, to say nothing of enterprising criminals, the process is perpetual. Although the cycle of discovery, definition, development, and delivery gets automated and intelligent over time, as a company's security culture and the tools it uses grow and adapt to the changing threats and opportunities. And let's talk about something around this discover point. True assessment is the first step to helping business leaders understand their readiness for modernizing cybersecurity. Understanding an enterprise's current state security landscape, its actual threat profiles, business risk, and current security landscape is foundational. Absent such knowledge, a company is left in a purely reactive posture, plugging breaches as they occur. So if we talk about defining, with a discovery outcome in hand, a directional roadmap can be created to achieve a higher state of security maturity. The roadmap can identify the initial goals that can be implemented in the short term and whether existing tools can be reused to meet the objectives or if new tools are needed. Finally, the roadmap establishes a plan for the tactical and strategic phases of implementation based on the current threat level and the organization's vision of end state maturity. Development. Assuming no urgent threats require intensive, extensive, and immediate attention, the technical work to shore up defenses can then be undertaken, often with a Scrum team comprising a few allocated resources. Other areas defined in the roadmap may be present less immediate risk to sense data, but are relatively easy to address, so their solutions should be implemented at this stage, rather than when they metasize into a problem. Many, if most, lay the groundwork for achieving the more strategic phase of cybersecurity maturity. So what we should do to deliver to scale? The work to design and deploy security across an enterprise to support its core purpose and growth, and even its expansion into new markets and sectors, if that's part of its business strategy, must be delivered in a way that can scale both the work horizontally across functions and operations to accomplish this. The program to deploy strategic security can expand to multifold streams of Scrum teams, delivering continuously with accelerated agility to make higher levels of cybersecurity maturity is a reality. We look into the maturity and maturity assessment in 4 phases. Cybersecurity maturity assessments are our services, strategic goals to ensure constant readiness by improving our technology and processes. Working with this methodology for a company will ensure the continuity of our approach to security competence and provide control for the projects to be realized with the company's output, with the aim of compliance according to the company's strategies and needs planning. Secondly, together with the CyberCode team, it ensures that companies' cybersecurity strategy, vision, and goals are evaluated. It ensures that the benefit obtained with common sense is effective in the company. Results are shared with senior management, the process repeats. And this helps not just only the security culture, but it helps with the executives to build an action and a budget plan. So we are trying to help as TUV Austria CyberCode with our worldwide TUV Austria experience, with the consultancy services, and also with the application security services. We have widespread of certified pen testers and red teams. And as we TUV Austria and CyberCode, we build an academy. This academy can help you cybersecurity and compliance trainings. Thank you for your time and wish you a healthy and a safe year.